Hello, my name is Chris Ganley, and this is my company, Decently Decanted, where we focus on fragrances for the nose and not the eyes. Essentially, we buy the full bottle, we decant it out 2, 5, 10 milliliter sizes, sell them to people who need a specific size for a specific cause. So, what are some problems or opportunities, particularly in the fragrance industry right now? One is people paying retail for fragrances that they will not use entirely. I'm sure somewhere in your house or apartment you have a cologne that you bought in the store that still has more than half of it in it. We're trying to avoid that. Another one is not being locationally available to test certain fragrances, particularly niche when you start getting into those lines. People have favorites that are discontinued that they're no longer able to get. There's aesthetical fees that come with fragrance presentations. Again, once you start getting into higher end things, as well as there's a very select few reliable locations to purchase smaller scent samples or decants online. And there are a few, but there's a few options that aren't the most reliable, which we're going to get into a little bit more detail about. So the value proposition of my company right now, it's about 150,000 decant searching customers, and that's without social media promotion that I could find. The average return per bottle is about 200%, which can potentially touch 300%, depending on the house or the specific scent. Off the top of my head, I know that a Creed Aventus decant may sell significantly less than an Homage or a Penelligins decant, which are two niche brands. So it's just something to keep in mind here, as well as there's currently 61,000 sellers looking for a marketplace. And this was taken from a Reddit thread called r/fragrance swap, uh, where they use various third-party sellers looking for a location, to sell their product. And you can see in the left here, there's a little bit of information about that. The screenshot was taken at maybe about 1 a.m. And there's 156 active people online. It actually ranks top 2% in the communities in Reddit's entirety, which, if you know about Reddit's active user count, it's significantly high, with 80,000 total members. So what's the underlying magic of my company? Well, for one, I'm a personal fragrance collector. I enjoy it. I enjoy the art that goes behind it. I also enjoy the art of the presentations, but I understand that that's, something that is maybe not necessary for a lot of people to pay for if they're not opting to pay for that. Um, the secret sauce really relies on multiple areas of purchasing opportunities. I have some of my own private business aspirations and marketplaces that I run where I deal particularly with antique luxury, streetwear, fashion, things like that. So I have a few connects specifically on these three sites here, eBay, Auction Ninja, and Reddit, where I'm able to outsource my products, authentic products, at a much better price than people would find otherwise. The only differentiate between that and buying them bulk from the wholesaler is you can't really pick what you find. You either find it or people don't get rid of it. And lastly, when our company does evolve into a marketplace to house a lot of these sellers that are actively on Fragrance Swap, they're going to determine the fees. So, or the prices, excuse me, we determine the fees. So we're not really we're competition to a point, right? So we set up this system where new buyers are able to build reliability by using our marketplace, and eventually they will determine the cost of what we can sell our decants for. Eventually, we will move to a marketplace fee only approach, but right now we realize that products are still a necessity. So our business model, generate revenues a few different ways. Obviously, sales on decants, which are sales on our website. Shipping, 30% of shipping costs of under 50. We charge about $7 to $10 per shipping. We do have free orders occasionally, but we have turned that into a form of revenue. Advertisements paid for by other companies on our website as well. We take marketplace transactions on both sales and buying, about 5%, 10% in total, as well as store promotions. So essentially, if you know how eBay or Mercari or Poshmark promotions work, they are paying us a higher percentage per sale for us to then push their product or prioritize their product more in the search results on our website. So instead of paying, the 5% standard, they might pay 7 or 8 if we move it that much further into the search results. Our go-to market plan, how do we generate sales? So we're generating sales through obviously website traffic, but we really want to target niche brand collaborations and influencer collaborations. As you can see, there's a lot of people who search for those. It's a booming industry in the past 2 or 3 years, particularly with TikTok. It's taken off. Colognes have gained a lot of popularity Perfumes as well, but predominantly colognes right now. If you look on the left, this is a very well-known fragrance influencer, Jeremy Fragrance, well over 2 or 3 million subscribers on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, pretty much all of his social media platforms. After that, we're going to plan to launch our marketplace to generate more traffic, as well as implementing different social media and Google advertisements, both organic and paid. Our competitive analysis, you can see that Decently Decanted requires no subscription. We have great customer service, authenticity guarantee. We are scalable. There's a marketplace aspect, and we do offer custom scents. Like I said, I am a personal fragrance collector, so I think that some of my personal takes on scents for different seasons are going to appeal to a lot of potential new customers. Some of our competitors here, you may or may not have heard of them. They offer the same thing, sort of. I mean, a company's going to have good customer service. They're also going to have authenticity guarantees. Sometimes they're not scalable. Nobody has a marketplace, and there's an occasional few with custom sets. Fragrance Swap and the last is that Reddit thread where it's not reliable. There's no subscription. There's no authenticity guarantee. That's the only other one with a marketplace currently. Management team. Right now, I am the founder. I am also the head of outsourcing and the director of operations. Like I said, a little bit about me. I'm a fragrance enthusiast. I own a few other storefronts, as well as being an active MBA student. In search of someone who can direct logistics, a website maintainer, and particularly this can be on Shopify, preferred Shopify, as well as a social media marketer. So here are some basic financial projections and key metrics. You can see that the average return on a purchased bottle of cologne is about 280%, purchasing cost at $100 and target revenue at 280. And you can see that below on a $10,000 initial investment, making 28,000, actually a profit of 18,000 on a initial $10,000 purchase over the calendar year. Yeah, our current status plus our ask, we are asking for $20,000 for website development, sourcing inventory, as well as aggressive advertisement placement. And if there's any questions about this presentation, then now would be the time to ask.